So I'm thinking to myself, oh man, this is not so bad then, okay, I can do this. When all of a sudden this guy with a goatee named Mike walks into my room and he tells me he's my nurse. I literally went to that place that my mother would go to, and I'd tell her I wanted to do something. She would say, no, you're not. He walked in and he said, hey, I'm Mike. I'm going to be your nurse. I'm like, no, you're not. All I thought about was him seeing a side of me that a lot of people haven't, if you know what the shower, I'm just saying. That was tough. Went through this. Anybody that's been burned, that's had to stay in the hospital and go through that recovery process, if you know someone that's gone through it, if you read an article, if you happen to see something on TV, it's a difficult recovery process, as any is, but it's very difficult and very painful to be a burn survivor. I remember asking Mike one day to see my face and see my body, because initially I was like, I'm never going to be able to play football again. I'm not going to be able to be in the Army. Like, all the plans, all the goals, all the dreams that I had for myself are now completely gone. What am I going to do with my life? And then I saw my face and I saw my body, and I thought to myself, there's no way I can walk in public anymore. There's no way I can go to aisle 9 and pick up a can of milk, a carton of milk, or whatever, without some kid who's cute and innocent, has no idea, looking at me and being scared and running and crying and bringing more attention to me. I'll never be able to shake that for the rest of my life. What's the purpose of this? This makes no sense to me. And my mom one day came into my room after I fell into this deep depression, and I was angry. I had regret. I used to tell everybody that would come into my room, I would have been better off if you would have just left me in the truck. After 2 weeks, my mom came into my room and she said, you have a lot of things to learn in life, JR, but the one thing that you're going to learn is that no matter who is in your life, for whatever reason, they're going to be in your life for who you are as a person and not what you look like. And that was something that was really sharp about those words, and it really stuck to me. And I said, you know what, Mom, you're right. I don't know what sense all of this makes, but I'm just going to keep it moving. And so every day, my goal was to be as positive as I could be and to have the best attitude when I wake up in the morning, when I went to bed at night, and that was my goal. And I believed that if I did that every single day, that over time I would be able to see a new long-term goal. I would be able to have a new reasoning of what I was going to do with my life, a future. And it happened when 7 months after I was injured, I was an outpatient. And one day I was asked to visit a patient who had just arrived and was having a hard time. And I remember walking into this young man's room, and he was just in a very dark place. And I talked to him for about 40 minutes. And then I said, hey, I'll come back tomorrow and check on you. And right before I walked out of the room, I stopped and I looked back into the room. And when I looked back into the room, when I walked in, the lights were off. When I walked out, he had lights on, and he had the curtain open, and so sun was coming in. And something so simple says so much that I gave him hope. I gave him light. This dark place that he was in. And from that day on, I started visiting patients every single day around the hospital. And then a year after I was injured, I actually wasn't interviewed by Oprah, funny enough. I never really watched Oprah growing up, I'm just going to say that. But for some reason, that's the effect that she has, the power she has. I was waiting at the hospital for her to come into the ward, and the minute she came around, I was like, oh, it's Oprah. It's the power she has, man. Never watched that show. Just saying. So now, here I am. I'm a year after my injury. I'm now involved with a few nonprofits because now I start to develop this passion. I start to develop this hunger, this new drive to want to help people. And it started off with troops. And as the more I did publicity and the more I talked about the nonprofit, people would reach out to me and say, we want you to come speak. And I would say, speaking? How long do you want me to speak for? And they'd say, 30, 45 minutes. I cannot talk for 30 or 45 minutes. You guys know I can talk for 30 or 45 minutes. So I finally stepped up to the stage, I grabbed the mic, I shared my story, and then when I got off the stage, I felt this reward that was just so gratifying, and it was amazing, like to get the feedback that I received after every speaking engagement. And then all of a sudden I said, I want to be a motivational speaker. That's what I want to do with my life. And not only just do it, but I want to be the best that I can be hold on, I'm an overachiever. I actually wanted to see if I could be the best motivational speaker out there on the market. That was my goal in 2005, 2 years after I was injured. I got out of the Army in 2006, and I went on to do it, and it wasn't easy. It was tough. It was hard to break into it. It was hard for people to say, let's give this guy an opportunity to stand in front of our audience, our attendees, and let him share. But then in 2008, I got this email to go audition for a role on a show. And I just shared a little bit of my story with you, and I never shared that I wanted to be an actor. I thought of being an actor, and here I was getting this opportunity, and I say, what do I have to lose? Let me go audition. So I go and audition, and they tell me I get the part, and it's a show called All My Children. Anybody? Yeah, you're out there. So I get this part on All My Children, and I asked them, how long is my character on? And they said, it's going to be a 3-month role. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, I didn't really watch soap operas, but I know 3 months is a lot of time. 3 months is a lot of time. You know what can happen in 3 months? And soap opera fans, correct me if I am wrong, but here we go. For those of you that don't watch soap operas, 3 months, here it is. So you can meet somebody, fall in love, all of a sudden get married, have babies, and then 2 weeks later you're divorced, you hate each other, she goes off and she marries somebody else, I go off and I marry somebody else, they get divorced, my wife passes away, one day we're at the supermarket grabbing the same carton of milk, we make eye contact, all of a sudden we're in love again, we get remarried, and then I find out 4 weeks after we're remarried that the kids aren't mine, they belong to my great-great-great-grandfather. And soap opera fans, I'm just 6 weeks into that, Anna. We still got a whole nother time frame to plot this storyline out. So I'm thinking, hey, I could be Susan Lucci's love interest. A lot of things can happen. Of course, that never happened, but. So all of a sudden, I went from 3 months to now I was committed, I was dedicated, I worked hard every single day. I had passion, and I went into it every single day with wanting to learn more and more and more. It just learned because that's what life is about. Learning does not end when you get your associate's or bachelor's degree. It ends, when your life ends. You continue to learn every single day. Each breakout session, each day that you're here, each day that you're in your profession, each new patient that you have, you continue to learn. And I was learning every single day. Because I did that, I took a 3-month role and was able to turn it into a 3-year role. And then after that, last year, I got the opportunity to be on Dancing with the Stars. Now, you think about that for a second, and I'm going to end on this. When they called me in August of 2011, made me the offer to be on the show, I was excited, but I was emotional. Why? Because I thought about how 8.5 years before, I was in San Antonio, Texas, learning how to walk again. And now 8.5 years later, I was going to learn how to ballroom dance in front of millions of people. It goes to show that when you have support, when you have people that believe in you 100%, the sky is the limit. What we share in common is passion. From what I've experienced, this gentleman right here and his coworker, when I was in high school, and what I've learned from talking to a lot of the people backstage and the guy that sneezed, is that you guys, yes, we all have to make a living, but at the end of the day, you guys do what you do because you're passionate about it. Because you love the idea and you love the challenge of being able to help somebody, not be injured, which a lot of you could have helped me and told me not to jump off of this damn thing right here, which I almost tweaked my knee. But a lot of you enjoy helping people get them back to a place that they used to be in. Or maybe surpass that level and go to a new place and beyond. A lot of us, what we share is there's challenges as well in what we do. The challenges of every day and you're trying to do so much and a lot of energy goes into it and you're trying to get the best result and you're trying to make everybody happy. But what happens in the midst of this, because you guys are the first ones to come in and the last ones to leave, I'm the first one to get up in the morning and jump on my plane, go to a city, speak that night, the last one to go to bed, the next day it's the same thing. What happens with those challenges is sometimes we lose this sight of taking care of ourselves. Taking care of ourselves. And a friend told me a few years ago, he said, listen, man, you got to take care of yourself because if you're no good to the people that you're interacting with every single day. In life, we love reward. We love any kind of reward, and especially in the things that we do, you and me, I had to learn and I had to understand that sometimes I just wasn't going to see that reward right away. Sometimes I was going to talk to somebody or share something with somebody, maybe help them in some way, shape, or form, and that they would go off, or I would go off to my next event, or I'd go off to a plane, or I'd go off to live my life, or they would do the same, but I would never see the fruits of my labor. That's exactly what happens with you guys. I don't think a lot of times you're able to see all the hard work, all the motivation, the ways that you pushed your patients every single day. Essentially, what I'm here to do is just say thank you. Thank you from everybody that you've worked on, everybody that you have helped. Just thank you. Because the passion and the work that you guys put in every single day and your willingness to learn and learn how to become better athletic trainers, to learn how medicine is improving every single day, not only how to help somebody recover, but to prevent an injury is a crucial thing. And at the end of the day, it's gratifying for me and for a lot of people in this country to know that there's a lot of people out there like you that if something happened to me one day, you're going to help me get back to a place that I was, and you're going to help push me to a place that I've never been before. You guys, not only are you athletic trainers or certified athletic trainers, whatever it may be, and you may be saying, here's a technique, here's an exercise, but you are friends. You are counselors. You are more than just somebody that is teaching somebody an exercise to get them back on their feet. You become a friend and you become somebody that will make an impact on their lives no matter how long from now that they live or how long that you live. Remember that every single second, every single minute, every single day that you have with a patient, do not, as he said earlier, mediocre. You have the ability and the power to make an amazing impact on somebody's life. You have done it already. Continue to do it, and know and trust and believe that what you do every single day, it's paying off. And even though you don't see the reward now, you have to go home and understand that. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself first, and if you do that, you're able to take care of everybody else that comes into your clinic. Guys, it was a pleasure for me to sit here and share with you at NATA. Take care, guys.